for your business out of the CARES stimulus package. So to jump into this today, we are going to be talking about the Paycheck Protection Program, also referred to in short for the PPP. Now I'm going to start to go over some of the most commonly asked questions. So the first one that we're getting a lot is, where can you simply apply for the Paycheck Protection Program? Now, basically any lending institution that is approved to offer SBA loans, you can apply through. Now, we're going to put some links in the description below of different resources, SBA locations, and basically what you're going to want to do is, if you don't have to visit any government institution to apply for the program. You can call your bank or find an SBA approved lender in your area through the SBA's online lender match tool. You can also call your local small business development center or women's business center, and they will provide free assistance and guide you to lenders. The easy thing about working with the Wise Guys in Ties is we can do the same for you. So if you're not quite sure, reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction. Who is eligible for this loan? You are eligible for your loan if you are a small business that employs 500 folks or less, or if you're a business in an industry that has an employee base sized standard through the SBA that is higher than 500 employees. In addition, if you are a restaurant, if you're a hotel, or a business that falls within the North American Industry Classification System, the NAICS, but you're under code 72, which is accommodation food services, then you can qualify for this as well. And each of your locations, as long as each of your locations has less than 500 employees, you're eligible. Tribal businesses, 501c19s, veteran organizations, and 501c3 nonprofits, including religious organizations, will be eligible for the program. Nonprofit organizations, however, are subject still to the SBA's affiliation standards. Independently owned franchises that own franchises under 500 employees who are approved by the SBA are also eligible. Eligible franchises can be found through the SBA's franchise directory. Now you may be thinking, okay, I want to know more about this PPP thing. I'm an independent contractor or gig economy worker. Am I eligible? So really, who is this? This is, there's photographers, there's personal trainers, there are electric men, they're handymen, they're plumbers. I mean, there are millions and millions of self-employed folks who don't necessarily have a business set up. What happens to them? Well, first and foremost, check out the unemployment status, because those options of unemployment are now being opened up to you. As far as this loan is concerned, yes, sole proprietorships, independent contractors, gig economy workers, and self-employed individuals are eligible for the Paycheck Protection Program. Huge. You might be asking yourself, what is the maximum allowance or maximum amount I can borrow? So small businesses are eligible to borrow up to 250% of their average monthly payroll expenses, up to a total of, get this, $10 million. So this amount is intended to cover 8 weeks of payroll expenses. So 8 weeks, you got to figure out this 8-week period, and any additional amounts for making payments toward debt obligations. This 8-week period may be applied to any time frame between February 15th of 2020 and June 30th of 2020. So seasoned businesses, they're also qualifying, but their expenses will be measured using a 12-week period, and that's beginning February 15th or March 1st, whichever the seasonal employer chooses. So the PPP, you might be asking yourself, how can I use the money such that the loan will be forgiven? So how do you use it so you can take advantage of the forgiveness aspect of this loan? Well, the amount of the principal may be forgiven, or the amount that the principal might be forgiven, is equal to the sum of the expenses of the payroll and existing interest, payments on mortgages, rent payments, leases, utility service agreements, payroll costs, including employee salaries up to $100,000, hourly wages, cash tips, paid sick leave, medical leave, and group health insurance premiums. If you would like to use the Paycheck Protection Program or other businesses related expenses like inventory, you can. Just remember that those amounts will not be forgiven. So you got to think about this and come into an area that you want to think about and how to use it. This is going to require some strategy. This is also going to require some tracking, accounting, and making sure that when it does come time for these loans to be paid back, you have itemized out the funds that were used that are forgivable, because then that means that you're not going to be able to have to pay for that, which is huge. So when is the PPP loan forgiven? Well, the loan is forgiven at the end of the 8-week period after you take out the loan. Borrowers will work with lenders to verify the covered expenses and the proper amount of forgiveness. There really aren't any programs like this that have come along ever. And so this is something entirely new. And the Wise Guys and Ties are dedicated to helping you navigate these waters. So the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. What is the covered period of the loan? So the covered period during which expenses can be forgiven extends from February 15th to June 30th of 2020. Borrowers can choose which 8 weeks they want to count towards their covered period, which can start as early as February 15th. So they can basically backdate this as well, since it pretty much just got approved. Now, how much of your loan will be forgiven? Well, you got to remember that the purpose of the Paycheck Protection Program is to help you retain your employees at their current base pay. If you keep all of your employees, the entirety of the loan will be forgiven. If you still lay off employees, the forgiveness will be reduced by the percent decreased in number of employees. If your total payroll expenses on workers making less than $100,000 annually decreases by more than 25%, loan forgiveness will be reduced by the same amount. If you've already laid off some of your employees, you can still be forgiven for the full amount of your payroll costs if you rehire those employees by June 30th of 2020. So this is huge, because in this situation, basically there's been millions and millions of folks who have already been laid off. Employers can now take advantage of this program to rehire those folks and do it with money not out of their pocket. Phenomenal. I do really, really like this part of this package. There's some things in the package I don't like, but as far as this, the PPP loan requirements and how it's being opened up to so many different businesses, this is huge, guys. So another question that we're getting, are you responsible for the interest on the aspect that it's forgiven? Well, no. If the full principal of the PPP loan is forgiven, the borrower is not responsible for the interest accrued during that 8-week period. The remainder of the loan that is not forgiven will operate according to the loan terms that are agreed upon between you and the lender. So there's several different lenders. They're all being covered by the SBA 100%. Now, what are the interest rates and terms for the loan amount not forgiven? Well, the terms of the loan that are not forgiven may differ on a case-by-case basis. However, the maximum terms of the loan, basically it's a 10-year period. That's the maximum, with interest capped, get this, 4%. So nice terms, and it's 100% backed by the SBA. You will not have to pay any fees on the loans or collateral requirements, and personal guarantees are waived. Booyah! Get this, loan payments will be deferred for at least 6 months and up to 1 year at the origination of the loan date. Man, I mean, do I need to say that literally one more time? You will not have to pay any fees for the loan and collateral requirements and personal guarantee requirements are waived. Guys, got to get on this. You got to jump on this right now. Get in touch with us. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're self-employed or have over 500 employees. Get with the Wise Guys and Tides. Let's help you get this done. Navigate these waters so your business can continue to thrive. So when is the application deadline for the PPP loan program? Well, you guys got until June 30th. But remember, there is only there's a lot of money. There's billions of dollars in this pot right now. But as more and more businesses start to be applying for this and starting to take advantages, and since, as of right now, it looks like this is the bulk of the shutdowns are going to be continuing for at least another 30 days. Businesses are going to have very few options, and this is going to be one of them. So get on this. Start gaining access to the funds for your business. At the same time, make sure you use some of these funds to build your business credit, because coming out of this time and this period of time, make sure your business is set up to really achieve some amazing results. We can help you do that. Paycheck Protection Program. Now this is another thing. What if you're thinking to yourself, I took out a bridge loan through my state, am I eligible to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program? Absolutely. Yes, you can take out a state bridge loan and you are still eligible for the PPP loan. There's a couple other loans that can get in the way though. So it doesn't necessarily work on the reverse though. If you start to take advantage of some of the larger federal lending programs, then this actually may interfere with some state programs that you also qualify for. Each state is different, and the states that are getting hit the hardest are freeing up more lending options. It just depends on what's right for your situation. But I recommend you do some research. We're going to be working on trying to bring you as much detailed information as possible as we can start to dig up more details on how to actually apply for these items. So what if you applied for or received an economic injury disaster loan? Now, this is another thing that we're going to have to talk extensively about, because the EIDL is huge. This is huge, guys. And if you took one out related to the COVID-19 before the Paycheck Protection Program became available, you will be able to refinance that into the PPP loan. But I got to talk to you guys about this. However, you can't take out a PPP and an EIDL for the same purposes. The remaining portions of your EIDL for purposes other than those laid out in the loan forgiveness terms of the PPP loan will remain a loan. If you took advantage of an emergency EIDL grant award, they're giving them out up to $10,000 right now. That amount would be subtracted from the amount forgiven under the PPP. So there's a whole lot of great things that are coming out of the EIDL, and there's ways to actually apply for that and have it all forgiven, depending on if you're going to get approved or not for that loan. But these two programs are huge right now, and we're going to be putting out some more content. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit like, follow us, because we're going to be working on providing all of that information as it continues to unroll. Oh, man. There's so much good stuff, guys, that is coming out of here. But I encourage you to start working with some professionals. Reach out to the Wise Guys and Tides. Give us a call, 888-524-9273. Email us at bizcredit@wiseguysandtides.com, or go over to wiseguysandtides.com, and you can schedule a time to meet with us. We set up 30-minute free consultations to just help you navigate these waters and get you plugged into our financial team. Other than that, I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I want to say good luck out there. We're praying for you. This too will pass, and we're here to help you pursue your God-given purpose. So, good night, and God bless.